Hi guys! Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. This is Miss Sean from Keep It Up with Sean and welcome again to this lecture video. Finally, sa wakas natapos na rin natin ang lahat ng mga video series in soil science. So we started with a video number 1 with introduction, yung origin ng soil, physical properties of the soil, chemical properties of the soil, and then finally, ito na nga yung last about soil survey and classification. Sana nakatulong sa inyo yung mga previous videos na na-prepare ko. For this video, we are going to talk about soil survey and about maps. Thank you very much for supporting my channel and let me know kung meron kayong mga questions. Maraming salamat and I wish you all the best for your examination. Watch out for the next video, which will be about, I will try my best to prepare some questions to test your knowledge about soil science. And if I have time, siguro next year na lang to, I will try my best to prepare videos in entomology, also for crop science. Maraming salamat and see you again next time. Bye! Hi guys, welcome again. This is the last part of this lecture video series about soil survey and classification. I hope meron kayong natandaan and natutunan dun sa previous video about different soil orders, their properties, and their characteristics. So in this video, we are going to talk about soil survey. What is soil survey? Soil survey is a systematic examination, description, classification, mapping, and characterization of soils in an area and evaluation of its agronomic potential, based from the BSWM brochure. This is also the inventory of the soil resources that involves three main elements. So, ito yung main elements ng soil survey. Number 1, so the soil survey will give you a map showing the geographic relationships of each soil. And it also give you a text describing the soils in the form of the soil survey report. And it gives tables giving the physical and chemical data and interpretation for various uses. What is the purpose of soil survey? Bakit nga ba nagkakandak ng soil survey? Number 1 is to know the different use of the soil and how management affect them are considered. Second is, the information collected in a soil survey helps in the development of land use plans. Based on the information na na-generate dun sa soil survey, they can know what is the appropriate land use of each area. Maybe it's good for residential purposes or agricultural purposes or any other purposes. Third is, the survey evaluates and predicts the effects of land use on the environment. What are the nature of soil survey? Number 1, soil survey describes the characteristics of the soil in a given area. Usually, a province is the unit of publication. So, kanya-kanyang provinces have their own programs to conduct soil surveys so that they will know the characteristics of the soil in the province. Second is, soil survey classifies the soil according to a standard system of classification. Diba sa previous video nasabi ko nga na one major characteristic of soil taxonomy is that it has a standard way of classifying soils. Number 3 is the soil survey plots the boundaries of the soils on a map using topographic maps or an aerial photo as the base. Aerial-based maps are more advantageous than ordinary contour maps because land cover and field boundaries are shown very clearly in the aerial-based maps. Number 4, soil survey makes predictions about the behavior of soil, so mas madali nating maiintindihan ang characteristics ng lupa based sa soil survey. Number 5, soil survey uses the concepts of soil individual, pedon, polypedon, and soil series. And number 6, it also uses the physical and chemical properties of the soil for classification. What are the steps on soil survey? First, you have to make a soil map. Remember that soil maps are not road maps. The soil boundaries are interpreted and the line is placed on the map by the soil scientist. And these lines on the map represent their interpretations of where the soil boundary changes. So, nagkakaroon sila ngayon ng survey dun sa area, and based on that survey, they were now going to delineate kung saan nila lilinyahan yung area na yun na magkakapareho yung kanilang properties, and then based on that, they are going to make the soil map. Soil maps are approximations of the soil boundary location. On the other hand, road maps have more precise accuracy. Kita mo ngayon yung sa Google Maps, di ba? Talagang makikita mo ngayon yung street names, naka-indicate talaga siya eksakto kung ano yung makikita mo sa isang lugar. While the soil maps are only approximations of the soil boundary location. Soil maps are checked for accuracy by running transects across the mapping units. Remember that there is a map scale in every map. Map scale refers to how many centimeter on the map represents centimeter on the ground. So, kung magbabasa ka ngayon ng mapa, titingnan mo ngayon kung ano yung scale ng map. Because soil maps differ in their scale. Merong iba na scale is 1:20,000 or scale is 1:30 or 1:50,000. So for example, scale of 1:20,000 means that every 1 centimeter on the map, kung i-measure mo yung map, is equivalent to 20,000 centimeter on the ground. So, ang scale nila depende kung paano nila ginawa yung map. So, it is very important to check the map scale para alam mo ngayon kung ano yung distance or kung ano yung area dun sa ground. There are different steps on soil survey. Di ba? Sabi ko nga, ang number 1 step is to make a soil map. Once na nagawa mo na ngayon yung map na identify mo na ngayon yung saan yung mga boundaries niya, ganun, you are now going to make a soil survey and classification. And to make the soil survey, there are different orders of survey. First order is very intensive. Ibig sabihin na very detailed yung pagde-describe niya ngayon. So, for example, may mga experimental plots, building sites, and the minimum size of delineation is less than 1 hectare. So, yung less than 1 hectare na yun is talagang nalibot nila yun. They survey the whole area, which is less than 1 hectare, and is the first order. Very intensive. Detalyado yung pagkakagawa ng survey. Then we have the second order, which is intensive and detailed. So, this is usually used for general agriculture or urban planning, and the minimum size of delineation is 0.6 to 4 hectares. Next order which is the third order, is extensive. So, it is usually used for rangeland community area planning. So, the minimum size of delineation is 1.6 to 16 hectares. So, medyo malaki na yung coverage ng area, kaya hindi na siya ganun ka detalyado. Then we have the fourth order, which is extensive. So, more or less, ang ginagawa nila dito is reconnaissance. It is broad land use potential and general land management. Kasi kung titingnan mo, ang minimum size of delineation is 16 to 252 hectares. So, hindi talaga nila dyan nalibot yung buong 252 hectares yan. So, they make some areas, nagkakaroon sila ng reconnaissance, and then they are just going to visit those sample fields to make the soil survey. So that is the fourth order. And the fifth order is exploratory. So this is usually used for regional planning and national planning. And the minimum size of delineation is around 252 to 4,000 hectares. So palaki ng palaki yung coverage per order. So, dito is exploration na lang siya. So, hindi na siya talaga ganun ka detailed masyado yung result ng survey. So, we have the first order which is very detailed. Yung area niya is less than 1 hectare. So, talagang nakita nila yung buong area na yan, yung less than 1 hectare. The second order is intensive, which is detailed, and the area is around 0.6 to 4 hectares. Manageable pa siya. The third order is extensive, and the minimum size of delineation is 1.6 to 16 hectares. And the fourth order is extensive, so reconnaissance na yung pagkakandak nila ng survey. And the minimum size of delineation is 16 to 252 hectares, while the last order is the fifth order is exploratory. So malakihan na yung area niya, which is around 252 to 4,000 hectares. So those are the different orders of survey. So once na nagawa na nila ngayon yung survey na yun, at nakakuha na sila ngayon ng information and all data, they are now going to interpret the results of that soil survey. And that comprises the organization and presentation of knowledge about characteristics, qualities, and behaviors of soils as they are classified and outlined on maps. So, nagawa na nila yung, meron na silang mapa, at saka based on that map, na-identify na nila ngayon yung mga properties ng area na yon. So, they make maybe yung isang mapa na yon, nahati na nila ngayon into different parts. Pareho yung properties na nakita nila dito sa area na to, na-identify na rin nila yung boundary. And based on those data, they are now going to interpret. Depende kung ano yung basis nila on doing that survey and doing that map. What is the purpose of that interpretation of soil survey? This soil survey interpretation will help land users, planners, policymakers, and analysts, as well as government officials and the legislative officials, engineers, and other scientists. And the second purpose is transfer of technology about the use and management of soils, both agricultural and non-farm, is more accurate. Mas guided sila ngayon kung ano yung kanilang, anong technology ang pwede nilang i-engage dun sa area na yun. There are different types of soil maps and survey. So we have comprehensive or standard soil classification maps and survey. This is the general and multi-purpose in nature with criteria and characteristics selected according to scientific and taxonomic principles. USDA soils taxonomy. So that is the United States Department of Agriculture soil taxonomy. And then we also have the technical soil maps classification and survey. So this is prepared by interpretation from the standard maps and classifications. These are the different uses of comprehensive or standard soil classification maps and survey. So they can develop the productivity ratings of soils, so they can classify whether which soils are productive or less productive. It is used for land evaluation and tax assessment. Alam niyo ba na pag nagbabayad kayo ng taxes for mejoras, yung sa amilyar, the amount that you are going to pay is based on the zonal value. Zonal value, ibig sabihin na kanya-kanyang zone sa lugar niyo, sa city niyo, will have different cost or value based on the zonal survey na kanila nakandak. So like for example, kung ang lupa na kinatirikan ng bahay nyo ay nasa interior part ng streets, hindi siya ganun, medyo malayo siya ngayon sa national highway, malayo siya sa center, you can expect there to pay lesser taxes compared dun sa areas na nasa center, malapit sa highways at saka malapit sa mga commercial centers. And how did they determine that one? Of course, they also conduct soil survey. Alam nila ngayon kung saang part ng city ang mahal yung cost, mahal yung value. Based on that, they were able to evaluate the land and use it for tax assessment. Third is, it is used for soil and farm management recommendation. Then we also have forest management and the programs for protection of environmental quality from damages by sedimentation and agricultural chemicals can also be taken from the comprehensive or standard soil classification. And of course, mined land reclamation to reclaim mining areas and to improve the agricultural energy conservation, development of alternative energy sources, and the selection of superior roadbeds and building sites by engineer to make estimates of water runoff and infiltration by hydrologists. So these are the agricultural and forestry technical interpretation. We use it for land use capability classification. So anong ibig sabihin yan? This is based on interpretations of importance of selected properties of soil series and technical grouping thereof in soil erosion control, land drainage, and moisture supply management. So based on that, they are going to assess the land use capability of each area. They are going to identify whether this area, this soil is not prone for erosion. So, pwede siyang pagtayuan ng subdivision kasi hindi siya madaling maguho or madaling ma-erode. Or for land drainage as well as moisture supply management. Second is, it is also used for predicting the yield or potentials for major crops. And this is at defined levels of production factor and management inputs. Kasi not all areas are appropriate for planting, for producing each crop. Kasi may mga crops naman na ganito yung kanyang preference sa area. So, when we do soil evaluation, like for example, when I was working with Lapanday Foods Corporation, it's a banana plantation. When we wanted to open and expand an area, we always conduct a soil survey so that we can know whether that area is good to plant bananas or to plant pineapples or to plant other crops that we wanted to grow. Sometimes not all areas are appropriate. It can be possible na malaki nga yung area, patag, or very okay yung area, but then there are some conditions na hindi siya ganun kaganda to plant a particular crop. So that's why you have to go there first, you conduct a soil survey, you check the area, kasi hindi mo naman malilibot in one day yung area na 500 hectares for example. So you will just do a reconnaissance. So random yung pag-visit mo. Titingnan mo ngayon yung paligid, kung ano ngayon yung vegetation. So kung titingnan mo ngayon, if you wanted to plant banana for example in that area, tapos titingnan mo yung lupa, you survey the area and then you found out na kahit kugon hindi tumutubo. So you might consider, bakit kaya hindi tumutubo yung kugon dito? So maybe there is a possible reason. Bakit? It can be shallow yung lupa or depende or mabato or palagi nababahaan or anything. So you have to consider soil survey first para alam mo kung ano yung general picture of the area. So conduct soil survey. Even if you buy your own land, di ba? Kahit bibili ka ng lupa para pagtayuan mo ng bahay, of course, don't buy lands when you don't see it. You have to go to the area, check, and titingnan mo ngayon, is this the area where I want to build my house? Titira ba ako dito? Pagtatayuan ko ba to ng bahay? Check. Siguro, hindi maganda yung drainage, baka naman madaling mabahaan, or masyadong malambot yung lupa, or di mo alam or maputik, or sandy yung lupa na pag nagpapatayo ka ng poste ay affected. So it depends. So that's why you have to check anything. Kahit pa 100 square meter lang yung bibilhin mo, 200 square meter, you still have to check. You conduct a survey not necessarily soil survey, but you conduct your survey and you check whether worth it ba to sa babayaran ko? And magagamit ko ba siya later on? Will it serve the purpose why I am buying this land? Pag hindi, so meron kang gagawa ngayon ng checklist. Ano yung hinahanap mo sa area na gusto mo? So, meron kang checklist. Kung ito ba yun na meet, then probably it's a good deal. Pag hindi, you might consider looking for other properties. These are example of the general soil map in the Philippines. May mga provinces na iba-iba yung kanyang colors. Kita mo, ito ay general soil map of the Philippines. The other one is soil map of the Philippines. And then titingnan mo ngayon, looking at the scale, so we have here 1 is to 7,500,000. So if you measure 1 centimeter of that map with your ruler, it means that on the actual area is 7,500,000 centimeter. So that is how you interpret the scale of the map. If you are more interested about the different soil surveys and maps, you have to visit the website of the Bureau of Soils and Water Management because they have done a lot of soil survey and classification. Just click the website. So I put it there. It's the www.bswm.da.gov.ph. So we have here BSWM maps. And then you just select, for example, the province that you are interested. So they have here in the province of Abra, they have a soil fertility map about the rice. They have done there a provincial scale. And they also have the different nutrient status map of calcium. So I think it's a very good map kasi makikita mo ngayon kung saang part ng Abra yung fertile yung kanilang lupa for rice production. If you're planning to plant rice in Abra, I think the map is a very good reference so that you will know whether yung area mo is fertile or less fertile. Based on that fertility map, they also give you some recommendation about how many fertilizers that you need to apply depending dun sa location ng area mo. So I suggest you visit this website. For Abra, so they have the soil fertility map. They have for rice. They have also the fertilizer guide map for rice and the nutrient status map, calcium, potassium, magnesium, and nitrogen for rice. So you just select which provinces are you interested. I really suggest that you visit this website so that you can explore and you can have the information that you wanted to search. This is an example of a fertilizer guide map in Davao City for rice. Kita mo ngayon dyan yung mga green areas, and then they also have how much sacks of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium fertilizers is recommended to be applied in that area. Meron sila ngayong recommendation. So makikita mo ngayon pag ang map symbol mo is 65, 66, 67. So they have here the texture. They have also here the nutrient requirement at kung gaano kadami ang abono na i-apply mo for the inbred rice during dry season and the wet season. So, di ba? So, malaking tulong siya ngayon sa farmers. So, I hope you will have time to explore the website of Bureau of Soils and Water Management kasi sayang naman yung program nila at saka effort nila kung walang gagamit sa technology na kanila na-generate. So, this is a very good program and I hope you will maximize the potential of the website and the information that they generated. I hope makatulong to sa inyo, and so this is more clear. Makikita mo ngayon kung gaano kadami yung abono na i-apply mo. So here in this case, so they have different options. So merong option 1, option 2, and option 3. So for option 1, for example, the general recommendation for NPK is 90, 60, 60. And to satisfy that recommendation, you are given 3 options for wet season and dry season, for inbred rice, and also for hybrid rice. So, depende kung ano yung itatanim mo. So, for example, for inbred rice, for option 1, the first application is 8.75 bags per hectare of complete fertilizer. The second application is 0.75 bags urea per hectare. And the third application is 0.75 urea bags of urea per hectare. So, yun yung option 1. So, they also have option 2. Depende ngayon kung ayaw mong gumamit ng complete. So, in the option 2, they are now using ammonium phosphate. We have here 6 bags ammonium phosphate per hectare, first application. And then the second is 1 bag urea. Third application is 1 bag urea also plus 2 bags of muriate of potash. And then we have option 3, 2 bags of urea and 6.75 sulfophos. And the second application is 1 bag urea, and the third application is 1 bag urea plus 2 bags of muriate of potash. So that is for the inbred rice during wet season. And then they also have another recommendation for dry season. So titingnan mo na ngayon yung option 1, option 2, option 3. And if you don't want to use inbred rice, so they also have hybrid rice. So meron din silang recommendation during wet season and dry season. So kung makikita nyo dyan ngayon, ang recommendation ngayon ng wet season is 90-60-60. Samantalang sa dry season is 160-60 NPK. Diba? Na-mention ko nga in the previous video, during dry season, mas mataas ngayon yung nutrient requirement ng tanim kasi nga active siya gawa nung maaraw. So, they will be more active for photosynthesis. That's why the plants need more fertilizer, more nutrients to grow more. So, nag-a-adjust ngayon yung recommendation based dun sa season. I hope meron kayo natutunan from this video. Let me know if you have any questions. And I wish you all success for the upcoming examination. And I will try to prepare the some questions for your mock exams para magamit nyo rin siya and to review your and test your knowledge. I hope nakatulong sa inyo yung videos na prepare ko. Maraming salamat. See you again next time. Bye!